Discretion is advised. So Mama Black.
This program contains language and sequences some viewers may find disturbing.
Right! So tonight, a promising young boxer in the fight of his life now after an overnight shooting on the West Side. When we first profiled Ed Brown nearly 10 years ago as he prepared for a shot at the Olympics, and tonight his family is by his side, hoping that he survives this greatest challenge now. Eyewitness News reporter Michelle Gallardo is at Mount Sinai Hospital tonight. She's got the latest. Michelle?
Clinging to life in a hospital room tonight, Chicago boxer Ed Brown is surrounded by friends and family. His longtime sparring partner, Adrian Granados, is among those at his bedside.
I started telling him, like, you know, you're in the 10th round right now. Just keep jabbing, keep sticking and moving. Like,
Chicago police say it was early this morning when Brown, along with a 19-year-old woman, were shot while sitting in a parked vehicle in East Garfield Park. Brown was hit several times, including once in the head. His family today overwhelmed with grief.
Put the guns down. Wow. Put the guns down. Put the guns down. All these kids is dying in the street. Put the guns down.
The 25-year-old boxer went pro 2 years ago, following an extremely successful amateur career. ABC 7 profiled him back in 2007 as one of the city's up-and-comers. His life, however, has been far from easy. His mother died in the E2 nightclub stampede nearly 14 years ago. And like many boxers here, Brown has had to fight the influence of gangs and drugs. This is the third time he's been shot. His lifelong coach, George Hernandez, says Brown had moved past all that.
Ed Brown is one of the top prospects in the world right now. He's 20-0 as a fighter, 16 knockouts. We were just getting ready to start camp for his next fight.
And while Brown's loved ones acknowledge that his prospects for recovery are dim, they believe the fighter in him will prevail.
what I'm saying to my friends and some family, I'm like, you know what? He's just having a conversation with God right now. But I'm going to continue to ask God to send back down our boy, and I'm just staying as positive as I can.
At this point, Brown is still in critical condition, and police tell us no arrests have been made. The shooting is still under investigation.
Right now, that breaking news in the south suburbs, police making an arrest we told you about in last weekend's deadly rail yard shooting. And Michelle Gallardo is now in Harvey. A news conference just wrapping up. Michelle.
That's right, Ravi. Police officers here brought in Rashad Williams, 24-year-old Rashad Williams, into the Harvey police station shortly after picking him up in Chicago Heights. They tell us just after 9 o'clock tonight. Now, a warrant had been issued for Williams' arrest Wednesday night in connection with last weekend's shooting of a 38-year-old railroad security guard who was shot and killed by a man trying to get away from officers after stealing a woman's vehicle. Police say Williams is that man, although he has not yet been charged.
The tips never stopped coming in. So we knew a general location from tips of where Mr. Harden would be, and we were collaborating efforts with the Chicago Heights Police Department. In doing so, they assisted us with surveillance in that area, and he was seen walking with grocery bags, and he was approached. He attempted to run.
Now, obviously, even though he did attempt to run, he was not able to get away. Williams is a convicted felon with a previous weapons charge. Police tell us that although he has not been charged, they fully expect those murder charges to come down either tomorrow or Tuesday at the latest.
Following a developing story right now, charges could be coming today for the man accused of killing a security guard in south suburban Harvey.
Yeah, CBS 2's Mike Puccinelli is live at the Harvey Police Department. A closer look at how they captured him. Good morning, Mike.
Hi, of course, this was a high-profile case, and police say the tips really never stopped coming in this one. On Thursday, police announced they were looking for Rashad Williams. They say he gunned down a security guard last weekend. They say he killed Tyrone Harden while running from officers who were chasing him in connection with a car theft. Now, Harden was working as a security guard at that time. Now, the two men had their fatal encounter when Williams ditched a stolen car and ran onto the tracks that Harden was guarding for Canadian National Railway. Witnesses reported hearing more than a dozen shots. Police say Williams also fired at someone else in addition to Harden. Investigators say the 24-year-old murder suspect was arrested late last night in Chicago Heights.
He was seen walking with grocery bags, and he was approached. He attempted to run, but he was shortly apprehended in a foot pursuit.
And police say they expect Williams to be charged with first-degree murder, possibly as soon as today. Hardin will be laid to rest this upcoming weekend.
Breaking news we first told you about this morning. Police are searching for a man they say kidnapped and raped an 11-year-old girl in Whitehaven on her way to school. It happened around 7 this morning as she was walking to Jeter Middle. WREG's Luke Jones was the first reporter on the scene this morning and spoke exclusively to that little girl's mom.
From pure shock, that's messed up, to plain disgust, parents in Whitehaven rattled and disturbed by news an 11-year-old girl was raped on her way to school this morning.
We never had issues like that over here. Never ever. Not issues about rape, because it's like a family community over here.
The girl, who we're not identifying, was walking to Jeter Middle School around 7 a.m. from her home only about a mile away when a man in a blue SUV pulled up. Listen to the girl's mother describe what happened next.
Snatched her, put her in the truck, raped her, and dropped her off over here.
Here in a ditch near Delta and Manson Roads, battered and bruised, her mother says, but expected to be okay. We watched as she left in an ambulance this morning. Hours later, police still in the area and searching for the man who did this.
He's our top priority. I mean, anytime you get anything like that happening with juveniles, kids on the way to school, kids are our prized possession.
Now, parents, listen up. If you have a kid who walks to school, maybe they even walk here to Jeter, try and have them walk in groups. And that's because police say it's much harder for people to deal with groups of kids than it is for just one.
Reporter Jobina Fortson got her hands on Hayden's interview with police. And Jobina, how incriminating is the information that she shared?
Well, Hayden puts it all on the table in her interview with police, admitting to shooting Pope and even implicating her co-defendant.
Who shot first?
Me. That's 14-year-old Daira Hayden admitting to shooting 53-year-old Larry Pope. He was found dead inside a car in the Shawnee neighborhood back in August.
So what is this, like first-degree murder or something?
It doesn't look like Hayden did this alone. Her friend, 19-year-old Jaira Simpson, is also accused of killing Pope, a man they apparently didn't know. Hayden says they met outside a store on the corner of 26th and Broadway, Pope offering them a ride home.
And he was like, he's trying to go get some dope from his friend or whoever. So he didn't take us straight home. He went to the apartments, but he didn't want to get out the car, so he told us to go get it from him.
According to Hayden, Simpson got the drugs and returned to the car.
She came on his side, but she dropped it. He got mad and he was yelling and stuff, so he backed up the car. And then she tried to look for it.
Hayden says she hopped out the car to help find the drugs as Pope continued to yell. Then things took a violent turn. With Simpson's gun in her hand, Hayden says she fired at least 4 shots at Pope.
I hit him. I don't know where I hit him at. It made him, he stopped.
But then Pope apparently tried to get away from the teens as Simpson grabbed the gun.
And he kept pressing the gas, like the whole street was smoke. So she ran back over and he lifted up like that. And then she shot him. And then that's when she killed him. She shot him.
Hayden has a bond hearing scheduled for December 13th in Jefferson County.